Well, greetings, Pipe Pals. How you doing? It is I, Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. And I am coming back to you. And I'm kind of trying to, I don't know, champion meerschaums, maybe. I don't know if we have a lot of people smoking meerschaums, And I think it's okay to smoke a meerschaum. And so I'm smoking this Eagle Claw and Egg meerschaum that I got from a place called John T's a long time ago. They have since, at least the store in Fairfield, California, kind of ceased and desisted, well, maybe 5-6 years ago. Anyway, so I am just here to talk to you about just whatever is, I'm smoking, again, this wonderful mixture here. Okay, I love this. This is wonderful. I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. Still, loving my Apple Watch, and got a little stand here for it, a Nomad stand. Nomad stand. Awfully cool. Bent piece of aluminum, looks like an old railroad track or something, Yes, I know. They don't use aluminum railroad tracks. Well, maybe Japan does, I don't know. They can do anything with aluminum that just surprises most people. Anyway, the title of this is Go Set an Apple Watchman. Yeah, Go Set an Apple Watchman. Okay, and I am playing with, obviously, the title of Harper Lee's new book released as of, well, tomorrow, I guess, as I make this video. It's the eve of this great book that's coming out. This is delicious. And I guess the reason why I'm kind of intrigued by this book, now I haven't read it, obviously. It should be available for download on iBooks tomorrow or midnight tonight. And I guess there's an audio version, whether it'll be released at the same time or shortly thereafter, narrated by Reese Witherspoon. I guess that's her name. I'm drinking some coffee too. That is very delightful. Anyway, so, but I wanted to talk about that in context with a concept. I gotta keep remembering to look at the video right there. The camera's right there. It's right there. The camera's right there. A concept that I have been painfully aware of for probably the last 6 or 7 years. And I think it's a concept that is just, well, it's a crippling concept, to be honest with you. And so, without further ado, I'll just tell you what the concept is. It's the overgeneralization that so many idealistic people have about being consistent. If you're inconsistent in one little thing, then you're a hypocrite. Really? And I see this being played out over and over and over and over again in different, in just different spheres of human interactions. Politics is one of them. That's a real big one where the inconsistency card is played all the time. It can have, it shows up, of course, in religion and religious debates. It even shows up, I've even noticed, with the Apple Watch or Apple products or Android products or tech products, whatever. Oh, they're not consistent, And it even shows up, I've seen lately, one of the greatest, one of the most, I think, idiotic, I'm sorry, I'm going to say ridiculous examples is in this whole diet philosophy wars that are going on between, say, things like vegans and vegetarians and the, you know, Paleolithic diets and all, you know, just a lot of the stuff that people get passionate about. And there's nothing wrong about being passionate, you know. Hey, passionate about pipes. Hey, there's a great YouTube pipe name, Passionate Pipe. The Passionate Pipe, you know, Passionate Pipes. You're welcome. Take it and run with it. It's my gift to you. If you're looking for a YouTube pipe presenter channel name, there you go. Just gave you one. But anyway, but I just think it's kind of, I think it's ridiculous. One of the things that I kind of, when you go to school and you learn certain concepts about life, and you begin to realize that it's not just about rote memorization about things in school, but it's like critically thinking about things. And one of the things that they began to show you, because when you're a kid, you know, they teach you a skill, they teach you a concept, and what do you do as a child? You over apply it to everything. It becomes the golden rule. And all of a sudden, when you find it in real life, things don't always work out like, you know, you think they were supposed to. Well, that's inconsistent. That doesn't go with this rule. Yeah, you're right. It's an irregularity. You know, it's like irregular verbs in English. It doesn't always follow the same rules. It's inconsistent. And so people, when they're, you know, young and naive and idealistic, and even, do I dare say, simplistic, they kind of think, well, everything has to fit into this category neatly. You know, can't be any inconsistencies whatsoever. You know, one of the things I was looking about with the Apple Watch, you know, people are, you know, get now, if you want to know what I think of the Apple Watch, you know, just from a, you know, just a tech perspective, you can go back and look at last week's video. Actually, and I don't think I've ever said this about any of my videos. I think it's a pretty darn good video because, you know what? I think I said something substantial about the whole debate about the Apple Watch. Now, I'm not here to convince people or convert people to being an Apple fanboy like I am. And I will freely admit, yeah, I'm an Apple fanboy, you know? And some people go, oh, you're an Apple fanboy, you know? So what? You know, you might be a Mac, you might be a Windows fanboy, and that's okay. We can still talk, you know? You may be a Linux person who just absolutely loves Linux. One of my dearest friends, he's really big into Linux. And he was like saying, hey, they even have Linux for the Mac platform, check it out. And then later I think he said, well, it doesn't work too well. I kind of thought, well, I won't waste my time. But it's okay to be different. It's okay to have a different opinion. It's okay to have differing views, you know? It's okay, you know, to disagree. Say, I don't agree with you. It's not going to bring the end of the world, you know? And this is where we're getting into all, political correctness is running amok. If you don't subscribe lock, stock, and barrel to this specific philosophical, whatever it is, fill in the blank, you know, whether it's, you know, your diet, your tech, your religion, your, you know, social philosophy, you know, if you don't follow it like right down the letter, ding, 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 all these principles, and maybe you err on one or you don't, you know, then you're out. You're out. You're not part of the group. And by the way, we're not going to talk to you if you don't follow every single rule. Case in point was, I was going to talk to you about, you know, the Apple Watch. You know, did you realize that the Apple Watch, some of the big critiques about the Apple Watch, you know, and these are serious flaws in the Apple Watch, folks. I'll be honest, even though I'm a fanboy. Do you know that the Apple Watch doesn't make a cup of coffee in the morning for you? What was Apple thinking? And another thing, it doesn't walk your dog. I'm serious. This thing won't walk your dog. What was Apple thinking? Johnny Ive, where are you when we need you? And other things it won't do, it won't pick up your dry cleaning. I can't believe that. There should be a dry cleaning app in this thing, and it's not there. And then also, you know, what was the other thing it doesn't do? I couldn't believe it. Oh yeah, it doesn't light your pipe. There should be a lighter in here. What was Tim Cook? Where was Tim Cook? Was he absent that day when they were talking about the essential apps and you know, glances and things for the Apple Watch? Where was Tim Cook when you needed him? He let us down. Okay, let me take my tongue out of my cheek here. All right, so you get the point. We're spoiled by the tech that we have. I mean, I think this is a great little device. Now, am I telling you to run out and buy one tomorrow? No. I would, if you said, hey, I'm going to go get one, I'd say, yeah, go ahead, enjoy. Like I said, for me, the watchword, pun intended, the watchword for me was fun. It's a fun piece of tech, and it is useful. I just got through getting pinged by somebody that I haven't talked to in months. And I'm like, who was this? You know, and I can talk to him, just look like Dick Tracy, who, you know, and I had a conversation going. I was like, oh, okay. You know, and that cleared up some issues that I had to address. And I could just do it right there on hands-free basically for the most part. And I'm talking, having a conversation, texting it. I can also send it as an audio file if I need to, if they have the possibility, if they have the ability to receive audio files that will either encode it as a text or an audio, and you can choose either or. Anyway, but so, you know, I just talk it in my wrist. I just talk my message, send it, it's done. It's like, wow. And it's very accurate too. It's not like, you know, sometimes, you know, digitized speech gets really garbled and, you know, like you're, you know, how many tricycles are in Taiwan? What? What did you say? So anyway, but what I'm trying to say is that it's a good piece of tech, but I think sometimes people, their expectations are unrealistic. And part of it is, well, it's not consistent. They should have put this in there. Why didn't they put a camera in there? You know, well, maybe they will the next one if it's necessary. There is a smartwatch that did have a camera in the band, but I don't know. I guess that would work. That would work pretty good, you know, maybe. And you know, and the cool thing is that Apple could still, you know, easily do that, you know, because they put out a new band. It's Bluetooth accessible, and bang, Bob's your uncle, Sally's your aunt. There you go. You know, the other inconsistency was, you know, talking about, you know, go set an Apple Watch man. The new the new book coming out by Harper Lee, and many of you probably know who Harper Lee is. Wonderful author, still alive. I think she's 90. Still kicking. They showed one picture of her, you know, in her Southern Belle kind of thing. There was a cigarette. Loved it, you know. Anyway, but she wrote the first book, which was, well, actually, it's a secondary book, the follow-on book from To Kill a Mockingbird. You know, go set a watch man, or an Apple Watch man, if you're like me. And the problem is that already people are coming out and they're outraged. They're outraged because Atticus appears to be a racist. Now, again, I haven't read the book, and I don't know exactly to what extent the story takes off. But to me, I think people have this knee-jerk reaction, and they start trashing something because it's not fitting into their worldview. Okay? And again, I have to read it in context, just like we all do. But, you know, again, if you are critical, and this is where it gets a little thorny, if you're critical of other people or other cultures or other nations or other groups, and you just, you know, it's like we can't say anything that's politically incorrect these days because we're going to hurt people's feelings. You know, there was a person that is now upset about the fact that Squaw Valley is called Squaw Valley because it's an insult to Native Americans. Well, when did that happen? Squaw Valley's been around for hundreds of years, you know, or at least 100 years, I'm assuming, you know, up here in Northern California. But now it's offensive. Why do you need to take offense? None was ever intended. So again, I think sometimes we are getting so far afield, we're getting so bogged down with PC stuff that people just can't have an honest discussion and even disagreement and still remain civil and respectful, and believe it or not, even still be friends. My best buddy, who you've even seen on my channel, we don't get along. I mean, we don't agree on everything. How boring would that be? We disagree on some pretty fundamental issues, believe it or not, you know, from a religious and philosophical standpoint, you know, and it's his worldview. And that's where it boils down to, is my worldview, your worldview. Everybody has a worldview. You know, it's how we interpret life. But sometimes you have to stop and say, well, that's my worldview. I'm not saying that some people might say, well, you seem to be getting into subjective reality. No, I'm just saying that we all experience life, this wonderful gift that God gives to us, you know. I choose to believe that God is real and he gives us life. Amen. Hallelujah. But I have a worldview that I interpret things from, you know, and that's my worldview. And I'm aware of that, you know. But some people, you know, they don't stop at that. They kind of go on and think, well, everybody should subscribe to the way I experience or I interpret life in the world. It's not real. That's another inconsistency. Another example recently that I was reading just the other day, got into a little dialogue, little discussion with some people on the little vegan channel there. And there's a gal there that was talking about the concept is meat murder. Now, I guess some radical vegans are now really pushing the envelope and saying, if you eat meat, you're a murderer. Now, the irony was that two of the most outspoken proponents of veganism, Lovable Freely, the Banana Girl, and Gary Yourofsky, I guess I'd say you pronounce the last name, people were saying, but they're also inconsistent, they're hypocrites, because you want to know why? Because they also support the intentional killing of animals. And I thought, well, I've got to read this. And you want to know what it was? It was saying agriculture actually kills insects, yeah, that's right, I'm serious, insects and small rodents like field mice and gophers, you know, because when those big columbines or those big machines go through the fields with those huge blades, you know, they're scooping up a lot of stuff to include some of those little animals and insects, and they are mangling them and killing them. And so if you're for agriculture, you know, i.e. you support and promote a vegan lifestyle, you know, eating grains and vegetables, you're also initially contributing to the destruction of innocent animals. So how dare you? You're inconsistent in your philosophy, and therefore you're a hypocrite. Really? Well, folks, you might be saying, where's all this going? Well, my solution to everybody is just keep calm, smoke a pipe. I guess that's all I wanted to say about that. You know, at the end of the day, you can wrap yourself around any axle you want to. You really can. You know, take what somebody says and you find, oh, I'm offended, or I can't believe you think that way. You know, when did the thought police, you know, show up? That's what I'd like to know. I think people are called to be respectful and civil and polite and courteous. Even if you don't agree, you can still be civil. You can still be cordial. Ooh, I love that word, cordial. You can still be cordial. You can still talk about things. Okay, so you disagree on this issue. Move on. You know, move on. And in the process, you can smoke a pipe together. You can kind of say, you know, can you blow smoke rings? Check this out. You know, like Gandalf and Frodo Baggins, you know, or Bilbo Baggins, yeah, in the Hobbit movies. Anyway, So I just wanted to just kind of get on there and just vent my spleen and just kind of say, hey, you know, I think people just need to kind of take a step back, you know, relax, take a deep breath, let it out, smoke your pipe, chill, and don't get so upset about the little things in life. The world is, our time on this planet is pretty doggone short. And if all you do is run around fomenting and being angry at people that don't see the world from your viewpoint, well, one, you're going to have a lot less friends, I think, and two, you're just going to set yourself up for either an early heart attack or you're just not going to be a very likable person. You know, yeah, it's great. I think it's wonderful people have a cause. They're passionate about life and the things that they believe in. But at the end of the day, you still got to be a human being. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre saying, thanks for watching. Light up your world and light up your pipe. Tonight. See ya.